Welcome to Lighten Up Talk Radio with Michael and Lee. Join us with topics that wake up the connection to your soul. You can listen to us at lightenuptalkradio.com. Hello, fabulous light beings out there. We're back 2 days later after our previous show, and it's Tuesday, September 19th for a wonderful follow-up. We had kind of a cool story after our last show on Sunday, and a dear friend of ours called and said that he had a meditation. Actually, it's a channeling that he had done following our previous show where we talked about automatic writing. And he had never done automatic writing before. And we brought him in here and recorded him reading his automatic writing. It's absolutely so beautiful.
It was phenomenal. That's all I can say.
I even cried during it. I had tears.
I just went totally out. It was just like, wow. I always knew that he had it in him to do. It was just bringing it out. And his name is Michael Braswell. And I met him, it's been now over a year ago. Mm-hmm. And we were at an event together and was going around the room and introducing our names. And got around to him, and he said, my name is Michael Braswell. I'm a mechanical engineer. And I looked at him and I said, is that truly who you are? Because I saw so much more than that mechanical engineer sitting there. And the amazing part of that is that he just voiced it tonight on the on our show. He says that moment got him to the point to where he knew that he was more. And he went in to his transitional period of a spiritual advisor, and he does tremendous work in whatever that he does. And he had just totally came back into it just very strong. And he is a very, very strong being. Mm-hmm. And just really blessed to have him on the show. And before he left, I asked him would he do some of this maybe on a weekly basis to where we can put it in some tools. Yeah. To be able to pull it up and just have tools to listen to. It's kind of going to be a sidebar of our show. Michael, you might want to talk a little bit more about that.
Yeah. On our Spreaker.com account, it's called Lighten Up Media. We have the Lighten Up Talk Radio, which we've been posting all these shows on, and we're going to make I believe it's going to be called Lighten Up Tools section that's going to have meditations. I'm working on one myself, and Michael Braswell, when he finished reading this, he had this really strong inspiration to record a meditation that is absolutely fabulous. If you have any kind of stress whatsoever or want to relax and really connect deeply with your authentic self, it is amazing, and we're going to put that in our tools section too, so it's freely available for whoever out there. And we'd highly recommend you all to share any of these things because they're all freely given and to be passed around to whoever might be able to use them.
It's just so simple. You just pull it up and you just listen to it, and you listen to it every day if you want to do that.
Exactly.
But we're going to actually get quite a few in the catalog. Yeah. To whereas you can pick and choose, and mm-hmm. when you get through with one, you can go to the next one or whatever. You can spend a whole day just dealing with Michael and Lee, and then another Michael. And I think that I'm just really being surrounded. Come to think about this, I'm just being surrounded by a lot of Michaels, and I do believe that both of them are archangels. So I'm gonna have to really come up with a Michael 1 and a Michael 2. And I think that the one I'm sitting across from right now would have to be Michael 1. So, but anyway, that's
hilarious.
It's very interesting. We might have more Michaels come in here. We have a guest also here in the room with us tonight, and his name is Jonathan. And so we're just having more and more people to come in to listen to us, and we're just so excited about it. And
Absolutely.
it's just been great. And just like Sunday when we were on the air, Peter was here, and we are looking forward to actually having 4 people that will be here at the round table, and to be able to put on some different types of shows other than what just me and Michael does.
Absolutely. It's going to be a blast. And yes, we are still working on our telephone.
We are. We are still doing that, and we're actually the box is what we've got to go ahead and order.
Well,
so we're there, but to be honest with you, we've had this thought pattern from the very beginning, but we've been so busy doing so many other things. It's been kind of I feel like I'm just like a mouse running around in a cage sometimes. Because I've had a lot of things that I've had to deal with myself, and I know you have too. And so needless to say, we're getting it done.
Absolutely.
We're getting it done.
The things are going to be coming on, some new things here very soon.
They are, and we're going to be on the actual TV. We're going with that. The person in the room with us, Jonathan, is going to be trained to be able to use the cameras for us. So I think that's going to be a terrific thing. So you'll be able to actually, some people in the area will be able to tune in to us with doing that as well. And we're looking at maybe doing some classes in that particular situation.
Wouldn't that be fantastic?
Yes.
To get those out there.
Right. And to have some people come in the studio and actually be able to participate in that. So anyway, we got a lot of exciting things coming about.
We're both ready. It's happening in divine time, and
it is
for sure.
And we've really kind of surrendered ourselves to having a lot of things that's on the air that's actually coming from us through archangels and whomever the beings are that comes. And I was telling Michael before we got on the air tonight, let's see if we can stay within ourselves tonight and save our writings that we've done to the show on Sunday. So that's what we're planning on doing.
Yeah, because the message for today that Archangel, I was going to call him Archangel Michael, Michael Braswell, because he's so angelic.
Yes, he is.
It was so fabulous. We don't want to sidestep that at all.
No,
so
not at all.
I think many of you are going to want to come back and listen to this over and over again. It's just phenomenal.
Well, I think that it was so in depth that I intend to listen to it myself tomorrow several times, and just to really get the being of the creation of how God created all. And it's just an amazing thing. Just sitting in the room tonight listening to it was just a real blessing. It really was. And I thank Michael Braswell again for taking his time and his passion and his heart to be able to do exactly what he did tonight, because he's going to touch a lot of lives out there.
Absolutely.
And that's just the beginning. So that's the way I look at it for him. And for us.
Absolutely. It's a win-win blessing for us all. We're just putting out these messages freely.
Yes.
Yep. And we listen to them too.
Yeah, I sat down yesterday and listened to 2 hours of us. And the amazing part is that we've been going into the channel mode so much as far as actually being able to do the show. I don't even remember when we get through half of what's even said. So it was just amazing to be able to just sit there and listen to it yesterday. And there were so many things that were said between the two of us, Michael, that I didn't even recognize that we had even done that. So we're learning ourselves, and it's just like the angels talk through us, or the ascended masters, or what beings that it is. And when we channel that, and then we're just sitting listening to it like you guys out there are. So I think that makes it very special.
Well, before we put Michael Braswell on with his lovely channeling, we picked some cards today. I was really drawn towards Doreen Virtue's Archangel deck, and as I was shuffling, 2 cards fell out, and then I was guided to pick one more. And the first one actually that fell out was the Indigo and Crystal Children. And all 3 of these cards are very exactly in alignment with what Michael's message is today, for all of us, because I believe that everyone listening to this show has a vibration within them of the indigo and crystal, because I believe the light workers here, even oftentimes the indigos are looked at as younger, the younger generation, but I truly believe that any light worker that has truly stepped on their path is an indigo that is taking a stand for light in their life and is speaking up. And there's really been a switch with this with a lot of people in all age groups, because the light workers, used to be kind of talked about. The indigos were the ones that were and being the younger generation were the ones that came in to speak up. But there is a lot of speaking up. So to me, I believe that we are all connecting with the energy of the indigo and the crystal at this time, and using that energy to speak our truth and bring in whatever it is right now to help anchor the light in on the planet. And this indigo and crystal children card, it says, it's actually Archangel Metatron. You have a bond with children. In particular, you can help children who are sensitive. And again, I believe that all of you out there that are listening to this show have a profound sensitivity within you that's awakening at this time. And that is part of the purpose with this show, is to help you awaken it as we continue to allow ourselves to awaken. And it's just a beautiful thing. And Lee, if you have any other thoughts on that card.
No, you covered it very well, Michael.
The next one that fell out of the deck was Archangel Jeremiah, and it's the Life Review card. It is such a time, and I'll just read it. Take an inventory of your life and resolve to change or heal anything that is unbalanced. As we've talked about the last couple of shows, it is absolutely an energy of completion this year, and it's just continuing. It's getting pretty more intense, and it's so important to take a look at your life and be honest with yourself and make the necessary changes right now.
Yeah, I was at a Coptic International Day in Asheville, North Carolina, and I mentioned it on the last show. But it was actually we actually discussed in that, it was about 200 people there, about the next 30 days is going to be the most important time within this year to be able to go in to the major energy that you have. The next 30 days is going to be very strong, and there's going to be several pivotal points for the end of the year, but the next 30 days is going to be just extraordinary to go into as much energy, much clearer thought pattern into your spiritual path, and just continue it on through the end of the year to continue for the rest of your life. It's very important now. And we've had a new moon to come in again, and so the next 30 days, this is definitely the time of going into yourself and really looking at the light within you.
Mm-hmm. Beautifully said. The last card which we picked was Archangel Raziel, and it's the Spiritual Understanding card. And it says, I am bringing you esoteric information and symbols and helping you understand spiritual truths. And I do believe that this card is exactly what Michael Braswell's channeling is about, because it's bringing a very clear modern day way of talking about the creation.
Correct.
That, it's in the Bible and various things. This one just really brought me to tears. It was so profound. And while you were talking, I kept getting this very strong message that the energy, the Christ light and Jesus is right here, right now.
Right.
In this space with us, is going to be with each one of you as you listen to this, because it's time. It's time to understand who you are at the core.
We've been waiting, and I've said this several times, we've been waiting for 2012. And we have been in 2012 this year, and a lot of different energy patterns is flipping faster and faster and faster and faster. And I will talk about on the next show when I get my notes from the actual training session I went to on Sunday. But based on what I know as far as our vibrational level, by December the 11th, it will be amped up 30 more points from what it is today. And that's how fast it's coming.
Wow.
You know, we had a practice session, really, I think, from the middle of 2011, about a July or August, to where this energy started coming in of the enlightenment of 2012. And we kind of had some time in there to get our bodies used to being able to get to the vibrational level where we're at. And all year we've gone through different phases through all these new moons and all this type of stuff that we've been going through. And I would say myself, every time I would elevate, I'd feel myself elevating up. It's a little dizzy type feeling to it. It's like I have to just center myself and get myself back in place again. That is the feeling that you'll have. And I think it's important to say that because so many people that I have talked to in the past few months, they actually think that they're ill, that there's something going on with them that is, different heart troubles or they got something going on in their heads or all this type of thing. And I would like to say that in the business particularly, I've been hearing a lot of that. And it's really most of it not around that at all. It's around the energy shifts that we're going through. And when you've been working on yourself, that it's even stronger, I think. But we recognize what that is. Whereas, the other people that has not worked on themselves as much as maybe we have, they're automatically thinking that they're into non-wellness. I mean, they're sick. And that's why it's so important to be able to open yourself up and really realize what is going on and not trying to find excuses of why you're feeling the way that you are. And just go into it and surrender to it, because this is the energy of the future. And what we're going through in 2012 is going to be a very high energy, but it's going to keep increasing and increasing and increasing throughout the years to come. So it is time to go up to the level of getting into this energy space.
I'm so glad you talked about that, because I sometimes forget, because when I have any of this stuff going on, I automatically go and have that clarity, that of the energy. Right. We've done a lot of work with the energy, and we're really tuned in to feeling what's going on as far as the energy movement through us. And there are a lot of people out there that have not done that at all. They're
confused, and they're saying, why have I got this confusion going on? They're thinking, well, it's about, maybe the economy, or maybe, I've heard all kinds of excuses about why they would be so confused acting. That is not what it is. It is totally energy shifts. Energy shifts is where it's at. And it's very important to recognize that. And I just try to just say to people, this is what it is. You're not going crazy. You're not ill. It's all around the shift of this year.
It's so big that it's changing the chemistry of our bodies.
Yes, and it is.
It's the way that they're wired. Everything's changing, and so it's naturally going to affect.
Yes, it is.
The way you perceive the world, the way you sense the world, and all of those kind of things. So it's going to have to be patient with it. But we would love for you to send in questions, and soon we're going to have the phone system set up and all that. Because oftentimes what I've found, Lee and I go through almost the exact same things, and so we have each other to go, oh, what's going on with you this week? How are you feeling? And then I'll go, oh my gosh. Sometimes we'll just crack up laughing because we're going through the same thing, and we have that validation, and not all of you have that. And I'd say we can even be more expressive of some of those things in the future, Lee.
Oh, absolutely.
To help, because you and I talk about it every week. That would be a good even thing to talk about, get a little more in depth with on the beginning of our shows sometime.
And I think that really triggers me to do something. Before the next show, I will put down some footnotes as far as what the feeling is. I think it's important to describe what that feeling is. and to get a little bit more in depth in what that feels like. And I'll put that on paper, and
That sounds great.
Right, I'll put
and
it on
then I'll
paper.
add mine to it, and
Right.
we'll
Right.
roll with it, because we want you all to feel comfortable with what's going on, have a sense of that you're not crazy. It's just part of the energetic shifts that are happening.
A lot of forgetfulness, and this is one of the traits of forgetfulness. And a lot of people say, "Well, I just can't keep up with this or that, and the other." Well, it's energy oriented.
Oh yeah,
It's all energy oriented.
and I can tell you all right now about the forgetfulness when your head, your thoughts, your consciousness, and the way that you perceive and receive is opening up so much. If you could only see it right now, you would realize that those memory fragments is because you're opening up so much more. Your even capacity of the time and space of in this earth plane is changing.
Yes, it is.
And so it's going to shift your memory. It's just the way it is.
That's what it is.
And some days I don't even know what day it is. I actually have to go and look at the calendar. And just earlier today, I was on the computer and I was going to type August, because it's just the whole time frame just almost means nothing to me anymore, because the connection to the, where time doesn't matter is so much more powerful.
You just have to get out of the time specter, and
exactly.
to be able to go by a clock is almost impossible to do. It is for me, and it's just an interesting scenario. But there's some tips that can be of what we've gone through to be able to put it out there to where I mean, you wouldn't believe the people that I've heard. They say, "Well, I think I'm getting some kind of a brain tumor or something because something is definitely wrong. My eyesight's not good. Driving, it's energy." It's energy.
And on a physical level, your pituitary and pineal glands are shifting. And evolving.
Right.
I literally can feel mine enlarging to be better and clearer receptors, because our brain and all of those things just receive information. Our nervous systems, it's a giant network of receiving electrical receivers, and all that's just getting magnified and enhanced, and all of those things.
It is. And when I have several people talking at the same time, I have to just step out of it. I mean, it's very interesting how I just have to step right out of my head, and particularly if it's not anything that could be the least bit on a negative basis.
Oh yeah.
My body just don't take it anymore. I can just feel myself just not. It don't work with me at all, and I just have to step out of it. And when I step out of that energy, you say that also makes you feel really funny when that other person's still sitting over there, and doing their whatever little negative thing that they're saying or whatever. I'm totally out of it. I'm totally out of it. And then when I come back into the conversation, then it's like you haven't heard a word they've said, and then you're trying to pick up the middle of the sentence of where they're at. It is very interesting how that works. But totally. My body has gotten so sensitive that I just absolutely do not handle any type of negativism anymore. I just don't handle it well. It makes me feel totally ill at that moment. It's hard to explain that, to where, used to you could just kind of roll it off your back. But if I don't step out of it, I feel physically ill with it, because it is so depressing to me. I get totally depressed with it versus just letting it just slide away. So that has definitely been a real issue, because when you're in the program of enlightenment for the world, then that's exactly what it is. You're a positive person.
Yeah.
So you don't allow, your mind does not allow it to go to the other side of negativism. So, if you're putting out the energy that you want all people to have a wonderful life, all countries to be just in a wonderful place to where they can live their life, raise their children, have enough food, have enough water, no wars involved. I mean, we're talking about big stuff. I'm into big stuff. This little stuff just absolutely is just nothing to me. It's just nothing. And I just step out of it. because there's bigger things out there that our minds need to be concentrating on versus the little stuff and nitpicky stuff. And that's where the difference is. And that's why I'm sure a lot of you out there is going to be seeing this type of energy.
Oh, yeah.
I mean, I have a friend that works in an industry that has a lot of people in and out all the time. And, I mean, she's the first to say, I just can't even believe how this is, because she's an enlightened individual. And she says it's just driving me crazy. And all these people are coming in talking about they're having their vision problems, they're having hearing problems, this, that, and the other, because they're not recognizing that it's around the energy. They're thinking that they're sick, and the doctors are getting rich off of it. Seriously, they are. When in reality, it's just simple. Slow it down and get into where today's world is, and that is helping and loving the universe. Bottom line. And whatever's in it. Whatever's in it. That's the big picture. The little pictures need to be thrown in the garbage and tore up.
Absolutely. It is so the time to just come back into yourself. And this message that Michael Braswell channeled, which we're about to roll in just a minute, is just a fabulous way to connect with that.
And it's your true self, not the facade of who you're trying to portray.
Exactly.
It is the true soul self. That's what you look for, because that's what matters. That's what God put into you, was a soul to lead you.
That's total light.
Total light.
Total light.
And that's the soul, not who you're portrayed to be.
We just get clogged up on this human side.
Doesn't work anymore.
It's time to open it up.
And have fun and enjoy the moment of it. Because we're in the greatest time ever. And there's no reason not to enjoy it.
Absolutely. Well, you all enjoy this beautiful channeling from Michael Braswell. And we'll look forward to talking to you all later.
And that's lots of love. Enjoy.
Hello, I'm Michael Braswell. I'm honored and blessed to be a guest on the show tonight. And I was listening to your show other night. Peter was here, and y'all were talking about some books he had written, and you mentioned automatic writing along that topic. So I went back home, and I sat down at my computer, and I just relaxed and went into spirit and shut my eyes and put my fingers on the keyboard. And a topic that I talked about in the past came through, but in far more detail than I'd ever had before. And in fact, it came so fast with my eyes closed that it took me longer to actually edit the thing than to type it out. But I wrote down and printed it out, and I'd like to read that because it just amazed me after I read it. In the beginning, there was only perfection. Perfection in peace, love, and joy. In the beginning, there was God and the angels, guides, spirits, and other beings that God had created. In the beginning, there was only the oneness and the perfection of the oneness. Oh no, I don't have a spiritual path, you might say. Oh, but you do, my child. Everyone has a spiritual path. You came into this incarnation as a spiritual human being with your path, your spiritual path already contracted for, planned, and set in motion. You see, everyone living on the earth, everyone who has ever lived on the earth, and everyone who will ever live on the earth is a spiritual being who has chosen to incarnate into a physical body. Why do you think this is? Why do you think that a spiritual being who has everything possible would do this? Why would a being who knows only peace, love, and joy do such a limiting thing? Why would a being with infinite life, omnipotent powers and ability do such a thing? Well, here's why. Before I read why My child, a word of advice. When anything you hear, read, or see, take from it that which your heart welcomes and feels the light within it. Let anything you do not feel the light within to pass by you. The part that passes may be for you another day, or maybe never. Always try and see and accept that which is for you at that time. In this way you will not miss the lessons, advice, or help in the times that they are there for you. There was a time when there was no earth. In this time there was one instance when God's spirits came to the realization that they know only peace, love, and joy. That was all that was. There could be no negativity, no emotions, no feelings of doubt. There could be nothing except peace, love, and joy with God. They wondered what it would be like to experience emotions, feelings, and thoughts that could not be experienced in their perfect existence. So because of their wondering, they went to God. They explained their thoughts and expressed their desires to experience what they could not experience. It was a desire that could not be done with the perfection of God. God had an answer to their question. He smiled in a way that a child who had asked for something that they thought impossible, but that a father could do. God did have a plan. God knew that he had created everything in existence with his energy. In this perfect way, he had used energy at a very high frequency. He could not use energy at his frequency, as nothing could withstand the enormous, immense, powerful energy of his. But energy at a high frequency they could. Thus his spirits, angels, and other beings were made with an extremely high energy at a frequency far beyond anything known on earth today. God thought, and his thought became earth, a place he created for the spirit to experience what they wanted to experience. He simply thought of earth, and his energy followed his intent. This is a law that exists now in the world of earth. Energy follows intent. These are simple but powerful words. God started manipulating the frequency and vibration patterns of his energy, and the plants, the trees, animals, sky, clouds, and everything that could be in the environment of earth came into being. His playground for his spirits was completed. He had created this environment with his energy, thus everything in it had life. The only difference between everything in this environment and his angels, spirits, and other beings, and even himself, was the difference in the frequency and the vibration of the energy used. God then called his spirits to him. He explained what he had done for them. He then told them what would follow. He would create a vessel, extremely limited in its ability. It would be vulnerable to harm and to damage. It would fuel itself and exist from the eating of the life forms in the environment. It would exist from the consumption of water, the most important part of this new environment. He would then create a sacred place within each unique vessel. He would take the spirit, compress the wonder of the spirit down into a very small size, and encase it within this sacred place. He would then lock the sacred place and hide it so that it would not be known. He would create the brain to allow the vessel to function within this environment and give the vessel an identity for this place. He would create the ego. Its main function would be self-preservation for the body. It would be powerful in its ability to preserve and to safeguard the body. It would use the most powerful tool in this new world, illusion, in order to keep the body safe. Anything it perceived as a danger to the body would be eliminated using illusion, especially anything that related to the spirit and its true identity. God explained that he would put a spark of himself within each vessel or body. This spark would cause the body to know that there was something greater than itself, but not what that was. He created religion to help the spirit bodies towards spirituality and a spiritual path. He then assigned the primary goal of each, and that was to reconnect to the one, to God and his energy. Religion would be a basic stepping stone to the enlightenment of spirituality and the one. Since everything was made from God's energy, everything was connected. Everything was the same. This was the goal, to reconnect and remember. Reconnect to the oneness and remember who the body truly is. God then named the body human. He explained that feeling, emotion, and sensation that each spiritual human being could experience. He then asked each spirit to form a plan for what it wanted in its experience of being human. He had each write a contract for this incarnation. In it he wanted its goals, lessons to be taught, and lessons to be learned. He informed that if the contracts were not fully met, the spirit would return to earth in other incarnations until the contract was fully met. That was their commitments in order for this existence and experience to be felt. He allowed any spirit that wanted to take part in other spirits' experiences to be included as such in a contract and what part they would play in the other's contract. He asked that some create the goal of finding other spirits or spirits sometimes and somewhere in the incarnations. He even gave each spirit the ability to split into parts, and the goal would be to find the other parts and reunite in the incarnations. As tools to enable the spirits to meet their contracts, God would give each spirit gifts, special abilities that would be beyond the normal human ability. These gifts would help the spirit along their pursuit toward the goal of reconnection and remembrance. God then told them that their collective goal would be the raising of vibration on earth. He told them that this experience would not be easy, as it was so far from their trueness. They would know hardships beyond their imaginations, but they would grow in vibrations and frequencies themselves to become closer to Him. God had implanted this desire in them, and it was His goal for them to advance along their spiritual path to become closer to Him and what He is. So earth was formed, and God created man in His image. His image, as each was created from Him, was from His divine thought. You are godlike, as you each were created from Him. Within each of you is that sacred place in which your trueness is hidden. You each have felt the need to reconnect and remember to some degree, or you would not be hearing these words. You are powerful and unlimited in your power, your ability, and your divinity. You are part of the One. Hearing these words means that your belief systems are not working for you anymore. They are crumbling like the weak structures in a powerful earthquake. The first step towards spiritual enlightenment and spiritual growth is confusion. You become confused in the way things are going in your life. You begin to question everything. Religion does not hold the answers for you anymore and has not for a long time. You each have the following thought and question in your minds daily, hourly, even each minute. There has to be something more. This life has to be for a reason. What is that reason? I want to know. I need to know. So hearing these words within you means you are stepping onto your spiritual path. You each have one. Walk it in curiosity. Walk it in wonder. Walk it in discovery. Walk it in growth. Walk it with the knowledge that you are walking a path back home. Walk it in the realization that you are getting closer to finding and unlocking that special, sacred place within you. Walk it, my child, in the ever-increasing growth of familiarity and awakening. Reconnect to your oneness within the oneness. Remember who and what you truly are. These words come to you in love with a promise that I am waiting within the eagerness of your true Father. I love you. I have a special place within my heart for the ones listening and not listening, who find it within them the belief that they are not enough to be healed, to be thought of, to be loved by God. Each of you is made in my image. Each of you has my breath within you. Each of you has that sacred place within that has that spark of your true identity, that spark of me hidden away. Each of you are unique. Each of you are the same energy that the angels, the guides, the spirits, all entities from the light. Each of you are from the light. Each of you are of the light. How can you be this and not feel worthy of my love and my concern? How can you not know that I would help and I would heal? Each of you that feels this way are under the illusion that the ego has given you to keep you safe. And as a human, you are truly spiritual human beings made in my image. Each of you is worthy, no more, no less than any other being that I've ever created. All beings on all worlds are the same to me. You are not any lower, you are not any more or less adequate than any others. So when you feel that you do not have my love, when you feel that you do not have within you that which is needed for me to love you and heal you, know that this is false. Know that I've already given you before you ever asked, before you ever thought in your mind that you needed my help. I'd already given it to you. I'd already given you my healing. I'd already given you my love. It was up to you to accept it. That's the only thing that stops you from my love and from my healing and from my concern and from being my child in your mind is your acceptance. The words that you've heard over and over, I am, is who you truly are. I am. That is the only name that you truly have. The name that you see on documents in this world are not you. The jobs that you do in this world, they're not you. I am. If it will help you more, you can say we are, because we are the oneness. All of us are the oneness. All of us are I am. You are me, and I am you. You are godlike in that you are made from my energy. You have my breath going through you. You have my love within your heart. You have that sacred place within you that makes you so special. Always know that when someone asks who you are, the true answer is I am. The true answer is I am a holistic practitioner, not that I am a computer man. The real answer is I am a channeler. I am a spiritual being. I am a spiritual healer, reader, counsel. I am spirit. I am in a human form, but I am spirit. I am God. I am love. I am light. That is who you truly are. That is where your worth is, not in the human form. Your worth is in what you truly are. You are me. I made you in my image. I built this place so that you come down and play and experience what you could not experience with me. I even came to earth in human form many, many years ago to be with you. So you now know your true identity. You now know who you truly are. You now know your purpose to raise the vibration and frequency of earth. Your one goal is to, at any time you can help another spiritual human being, you do so, and intentionally cause no harm to another. That is your trueness. That is your oneness. That is your goal. That is your purpose. Feel your worthiness, my child. Doubt no more. Do not have any feelings of inadequacy. Do not let your ego use its illusions to keep you from your trueness. For I truly love you, and I'm there for you evermore. This was a hard lesson for me to learn, this true identity of mine. In fact, Lee brought it to my attention one time when she was at Utopia Day Spa at one of the OMA sessions. And I was introduced, and I told that I was in computers. And they asked me, is that who you truly are? And it started coming to me after they asked me that question. No, it's not who I truly am. I am a holistic practitioner. I do past life regressions. I do spiritual counseling and spiritual healing. I do massages to help people relax and get to that space where they can release and reconnect and remember. I use hypnosis toward this end. But most of all, I use that gift that I've been given within me. And that gift is to become the tool of God so that He can work through me. I do nothing on my own. I'm a vessel. I'm a divine vessel of God that He uses to heal and help other people. And I am blessed being that vessel. I'm nothing special. I'm nothing less. I am just like every other human being on earth. Everyone has gifts. A lot do not know they have gifts. They never meet another person to help them. So if you're listening to these words and you're gifted, and you know you're gifted, and all are gifted, use this knowledge, this awareness of your gifts to help others become aware of their gifts. We need to grow, and we need to grow quickly in this circle of light workers. More light workers are needed every day. More light workers are needed, and you can help. It is your purpose to help open up others to their true identity and let them become light workers as well. This is your calling. You may have other gifts, but this is the one gift that is common to everyone. Help others become aware that they are light workers. They are here to do God's work. They are here to reconnect and remember, as you've heard before. So do your trueness. Do your true gift. Do your true purpose. Remember who you are. Reconnect to who you are. When you're with other people, put out your energy to feel their energy. Feel the oneness. Put out your energy to feel a tree. Put out your energy to feel a rock, the grass, a couch, a chair. All are made of God's energy, just at different vibrational frequencies. Feel that oneness with everything. Become the bird in the sky. See through the bird's eyes. See through the other person's eyes. Know what it's like to be in that wall, to be that rock. Put out your energy and connect to it, to them, to everything. And always remember that God does love you. Thank you for letting me have this opportunity to speak and to let the Spirit come through me and to channel through me. Channeling is something that I thought I could never do. I used to listen to people channel, see people channel, and say it would be so awesome to be able to do that. So awesome. And I was envious, and I shouldn't have been, I know, but I was. That human part of me came out, and I became very, very desirous of being able to channel. And the more I opened up to Spirit, I would be able to help people. I would be able to tell them things that they needed to know, help them with problems they had, not knowing the whole time I was channeling. Channeling is simply put, it's when Spirit, a guide, a light being, comes through you or gives you information that you speak. It is not necessarily a verbal voice coming through you, being a trance channeler or being a full-blown verbal channeler. Channeling is simply being able to receive intuitive information to help other people. Once you start doing that, then channeling advances to different levels, different degrees. So know that if you want to be a channeler, that you can. Just simply open up, be quiet, and get to the point where you start receiving from Spirit. Connect to your guides. Use the information they give you to help other people. All this are different forms of channeling. Channeling is simply communication with those from the light. Thank you, Michael. Thank you, Lee, for the blessing of being here with you today and for letting me speak and be a channel today of those from the light. Thank you very much.